You can go ahead, Bonnie.
Good evening. I call to order the regular meeting of the Minnehaha County Planning Commission and will begin with a few introductory comments. As a courtesy to everyone here tonight, please make sure that all cell phones have been silenced. Please note that tonight's Planning Commission meeting will be rebroadcast via CityLink and posted on the www.minnehahacounty.gov site for viewing by the general public. Any final action taken on the conditional use permit applications tonight will take effect 5 working days following this meeting unless a written appeal of the Planning Commission's decision is filed in the Planning Office by Monday, November 4th at 5 p.m. In the event of an appeal, the decision will be referred to the County Commission for a hearing on Tuesday, November 19th at or after 9 a.m. The affected parties will be notified of the meeting date, and meetings of the County Commission are held in this same room. Any action taking on the rezoning application during the public hearing tonight is a recommendation that will be forwarded to the County Commission for another public hearing on Tuesday, November 26th at or after 9 a.m. Meetings of the County Commission are held in this same room. First on the agenda is public input. Is there anyone who wishes to speak on an item that is not on the agenda? At this time, the Planning Commission will consider the consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are perceived to be non-controversial and meet all of the requirements of the codes and regulations. The consent agenda will be acted on in one motion with no public hearing on the items unless a member of the public, the commission, or staff requests the item be removed from the consent agenda. The minutes from the September 23rd, 2024 meeting are included in the consent agenda. Next, I'll read each item on the consent agenda and ask if there are any issues or comments from the Planning Commission or the audience, and if any member of the Planning Commission or the audience would like to be heard on the item, please raise your hand, and the item will be moved to the regular agenda to allow you to address the Commission later in the meeting. Any items remaining on the consent agenda will be approved by the Planning Commission with the conditions recommended by staff. Item number 1 on the consent agenda is approve of the minutes of the September 23rd, 2024 meeting. Item number 2 is conditional use permit 24-47 to allow a garden center on the property legally described as Tract 1, Beck's Addition, Southeast Quarter, Section 13, Township 101 North, Range 51 West. That is in Wall Lake Township. Petitioner is the Schumacher Entities LLC, and they are also the property owner. The location is 2 miles west of Sioux Falls along 466th Avenue. Is there anyone from the audience, staff, or the commission wish to be heard on this item? Item number 3 is conditional use permit 24-48 to transfer one building eligibility from the northwest quarter, the northeast quarter, section 9 to the northeast quarter, the northwest quarter, within the west half, the northwest quarter, including tract 1, Grace's Addition, and the west half, southwest quarter, and the northeast quarter, and the northwest quarter, section 10, all within Township 102 North, Range 51 West, that is in Hartford Township. The petitioner and the property owner are Michael and Jerry Grace, and the location is approximately 1 mile north of Hartford along 463rd Avenue. Is there anyone from the commission, the staff, or the audience wish to be heard on this item? Item number 4 is a rezoning 24-02 to rezone from the A1 Agricultural District to the C Commercial District, the property legally described as the west 546.61 feet of the south 356.16 feet of tract 1, Johnson's Tracts, south half, southwest quarter, section 7, Township 102 North, Range 49 West, that is in Mapleton Township. The petitioner and property owner is Prairie Commercial Land and Cattle Company. located approximately a quarter mile east of the Crooks Renner exit along 258th Street. Is there anyone from the commission, staff, or the audience wish to be heard on this item? Item number 5 is conditional use permit 24-49 to allow a short-term rental on the property legally described as Tract 1, Schneckloff Edition, Northwest Quarter, Section 32, Township 103 North, Range 47 West. That is in Palisades Township. Petitioner is Aaron, pardon me if I got the name wrong, Ostrich, and the property owner is Sherry Treeby, located 48547 255th Street. Anyone from the commission, staff, or audience wish to be heard on this item?
Madam Chair, I'd make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and second to approve the consent from item number 1 to item number 5. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. If your item has been approved, you're free to go. We'll move on to the regular agenda. Item number 6, which is a recall and review of conditional use permit 23-55 to allow a motor vehicle sales and repair shop on the property legally described as Tract 1A, Preheim's Edition, North Half, Section 27, Township 101, Range 48 West. That is in Split Rock Township. Petitioner is Auto Body Specialist. Owner is MJ Holdings, 23 LLP, 48132 Highway 42. Kevin?
All right. Good evening. I'm Kevin Hookman from the County Planning Department, and today I'm doing a little bit of a Vanna White thing with the PowerPoint, flipping the pages. But this item here, item 6, the recall and review of a conditional use permit 2355. This was approved last October. Staff received complaints about this property and the condition of the property and a number of other things. And when we visited the site throughout the summer, there was violations on the property. And I'll show you some pictures in a moment. And as those violations continued through the summer, we worked with the property owner a little bit. Some items would go away, but it was just not clearing up. Since then, the staff did visit the property just this last Friday. I find that all the conditions are meeting the conditions of approval, the petitioner, and I'll kind of go through the photos that'll show you through what's going on. But at the end, I think that in order to kind of work through this property a little bit more and maybe to help prevent a little bit more, have a little more conditions on it, some of the items that probably really shouldn't be there in the first place, and I'll show you what I mean. So the property is located at 48132 Highway 42. So this would be east of Sioux Falls in the Preheim Edition subdivision. It's an industrial zone subdivision along Highway 42. This was the original site plan from the conditional use permit for the property. When the property was approved for the conditional use permit, this was created by staff as a way to recognize where the proposed auto body shop and sales was going to take place. Because being an auto body shop, we understood that there would be dismantled cars and probably parts on the property as part of regular business. So we put out these areas here with the red area here for dismantled vehicles, and then the green area where only operational or at least completely intact vehicles would be located. With a maximum of 20 dismantled vehicles or inoperable vehicles total. We did not put a maximum on the other vehicles, like locations. And then here's some of the complaint photos. I'm going to visit with some of those first to get you an idea of why we ended up at this location where we're at now. Here's kind of some area here in that front where you can see some vehicles that are dismantled there or partially dismantled. Items including the barrels and oil type barrels on the property. Open tires just sitting out side. There's the oil barrel specifically that contained oil, as well as the buckets. And you can see a little bit later kind of the overspill of those containers that would be in the violation of the conditional use permit. I will go over a handful of photos now that from like the original permit application to today to show you that things have been cleaned up throughout since this was originally posted for the hearing. So this would be for the original 2023 permit application, and this is what it would look like today. There is no visible inoperable vehicles in the front. This would be down that side portion of the property. And then today, again, no visible inoperable vehicles. And this is now turning to that east property area there. From the beginning, like I said, when we approved this, we did understand that this was going to be a auto body shop and there would be parts and cars that would be damaged. You can kind of see that how it was when it was originally proposed. And this is today. I'll point out there are barrels here. These barrels are completely empty, and from our previous site visits, that isn't always clear, and that's something that I think that we can address in our going forward on what to do about these barrels and containers on the property. This is what the rear of the property, or the north side in 2023, and then this is 2024. So very similar. I think I have another photo of the backyard. No, I would note that generally speaking, where the dismantled vehicles would be, it'd be on this far side over here, in the kind of the tree areas where many of the vehicles without doors and hoods and side panels and stuff would be located. And then this would be the front yard. And this is the front yard today. So I guess, like I said, I don't see that it's currently in violation of the conditions of approval. But you can see that there has been some issues with just kind of general, I guess, untidiness and potential with like the tires and stuff for like public nuisance realm, where there can be water accumulating and the oil is a big problem. So I do have some recommended conditions here. So moving forward, I did not get a time to pass these to the operator, so this will be the first time he hears from them too. And let me read them out, and I'm going to pull it away here for a moment while I read them. So I would suggest or recommend adding condition number 15. No materials or waste unrelated to automotive work can be stored or disposed of on the property, with the intent of things like building materials or furniture, that sort of materials, that it doesn't accumulate on the property, that doesn't belong as a auto body shop. Number 16, no barrels or any other container designed to contain fluids shall be stored outside. Like I said, I didn't know until recently that some of the barrels and containers are empty. That is really difficult to understand from a distance. So it'd just be better off to just not allow that to be a storage item outside. Number 17, all tires not attached to a vehicle shall be stored in an enclosed structure. Tires specifically, there are other parts of that are stored outside, whether they're being put onto a vehicle or they've been taken off and they're going to go to a scrap yard. But tires have the tendency to collect water and then grow things like mosquitoes and other problem that can cause issues and be a public nuisance. So that's why tires are specifically listed there. And then I have a final condition, number 18, that the permit shall be reviewed again in the October 27th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting. So we will have an automatic review in 1 year for this property to see where we're going from there. And I will put this back up on the Elmo so we can see it. And I guess I'll have any questions from there. Oh, I should note that at a recall and review hearing, the Planning Commission does have the authority to amend, revise, delete, or add conditions to the conditional use permit. In addition, they have the authority to revoke the conditional use permit if there is a failure to comply with terms, conditions, or requirements of the permit. So I'm available for any questions, and I do know the petitioner is here tonight.
Any questions for him? I guess not at this time. Is the petitioner here? Will you please step forward and state your name and address, sir?
Good evening, guys. My name is Noel Antion.
Will you please give your address?
Physical address, home address?
Yes.
118 Skyline Drive, Valley Springs, South Dakota.
You're aware of the new conditions right after tonight? Okay. Any of the commissioners have any questions for him?
Yes, Madam Chair, if I may.
Go ahead,
I'm
Mike.
not going to scold or say there's anything wrong, you know. I appreciate your efforts so far. Just looking at the new conditions that's been proposed, do you have any objection to them if they're added?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd just like to state a couple comments here. I've been over there in the last, a couple times in the last, well, today I was over there, and I think it was about 10 days ago I was over there. And yeah, as a motorist driving by, you really, really do not see anything. So as far as just visibly seeing any bad sights, you know, it's not there. This is a automobile repair shop, so I get it. And the vehicles that are out front are all in running conditions. Yeah, I did drive around back, and yeah, you got dismantled vehicles, but no one can see them at all unless you are physically driving back there, snooping around. So I have no objections to anything here. And I like what was added, 15 through 18.
Anyone else have any comments? Thank you. Anyone from the audience wish to address this item? Okay, commissioners?
Yes, Madam Chair, if I may.
Sure, Mike, go ahead.
Again, I guess to Doug's point, this is an automotive repair shop, and you know, things can happen where things become delinquent, and so we appreciate the petitioner making the effort to come up in compliance. With that said, I guess I would make a motion to approve with the additional 4 items as presented by staff.
I'll second that.
Okay. I have a motion and second to approve item number 6 with the additional conditions. Any further comments or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Thank you. Okay. Any old business?
No.
New business?
I want to take a photo.
Oh, I have new business.
Oh, okay. You can do that for me.
I just have one item of new business. Scott wanted me to tell you guys how we've been advertising the public engagement meetings. So he has been going out to all of pretty much everywhere that has a public bulletin in the county, bars, libraries, city halls, pretty much anywhere he can find, and putting up our flyer here, which you were given at the last meeting. And then what we've done for actual publishing is that the ad that was given to you guys at the beginning of this meeting, it should have been on your books. That ad will run in the Dakota Scout on Friday, the Del Rapids City Journal on Friday, And then the Brandon Valley Journal on November 6th, which is next Wednesday. And then the Minnehaha Messenger, which is Hartford's public newspaper, on November 8th, so a week from Friday. So those will be the actual, if you want to look out for those are where it'll be. I can give those again if you want to write them down at the end of the meeting from me. And then I guess, yeah, those will be posted those days. And then as you see up on the screen there, our first meeting will be next Thursday in Del Rapids. And then every Thursday for 3 weeks there, Brandon and then Hartford. And then November 25th, just as a reminder, the adoption of the comp plan will be in front of you as an actual item. It won't be something that we have to have final consideration at that meeting or final adoption, but it will be an actual public hearing where we'll have the full draft that we'll consider at our next meeting in November. So with that, I guess, like I said, Scott did post these flyers pretty much everywhere he could think of, but I do have more. So if you guys do have places you want to post them, just ask me after the meeting and I'll hand out more to you. But otherwise, that's all I have in new business. So thank you.
Okay.
And I guess since the updated comprehensive plan, it's been 10 years since we had a photo of the commission, and everybody's here, and we're all nicely presented. I think we should have a new photo for the comprehensive plan. Don't worry, it'll be condensed pretty small. So, but here we go.
Oh, God.
If we can get everybody in one.
Yeah, I think the other one was at an angle.
All right.
Anything else? Okay, I plan to attend that meeting probably in Brandon. And any of the other commissioners, you're open to go to those meetings or just pop your head in to see what's going on. I mean, it's open to the public anyway, as it is. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam Chair, can I just, are we still being taped? I just want to, to the audience that's watching online, just want to say one of the fringe benefits of being on the county planning and zoning, so this is it.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, everyone.